Good afternoon YouTube friends, my name is Jackie and welcome back to Gone Potty Gardening. It's been a little while, I've been busy as ever, always doing something somewhere. So what I'll do is I'll show you around the polytunnel first and I'll take you all outside and show you the garden. It is spitting a bit so I'll have to do it in between the showers, but yeah, I'll show you in the polytunnel anyway. As you can see, it's been busy in the polytunnel. All the tomato plants and that are all coming up. I've got some on the other side, but yeah, I've noticed now that there's some little baby tomatoes coming, so they're nice, aren't they? It's always nice when you see little tomatoes growing on there. Different varieties I've got in here, but yeah, a lot of them are getting the flowers on now. So all in all, quite busy in the polytunnel, and it's been hectic outside. I harvested some onions, which I'll show you in a minute, because I saw some of them were seeding and I didn't want them all to go to seed, so I've harvested them, left them on the top because I know we're going to have some really good weather this weekend and that'll help dry them out. So I'll show you them in a minute. And a lot of people have been interested in the climbing onions. Well, I haven't planted them in the ground yet, but I'll show you what they're doing. So as you can see, these are still in the bucket. But look how they're twisting and growing little tiny onions. Yeah. And when you scroll up to the top, look. All twisting and turning, and little tiny onions. Now I suppose if I put them in the ground, probably the long stem, like on this one, would grow, because down there, look. There's some little tiny onions growing. So yeah, it's by time they need going out, definitely. But that was from a couple of onions sent in the post, and that took off in that bucket, so I need to sort them out. What's also, which I love, I've been doing is, I've been down to a garden centre and got some more blueberries. These ones are called blue crops, so yeah, I've planted them in their own little buckets. This one I think is pink lemonade, so it's got some lovely fruit on there. Yeah, I've got a thing about getting a few blueberry bushes, so that's what I've been doing. It's not often that I you know, discover a really good tip, but I did discover a tip about fruit trees. That is one of the things I don't know loads about, but I've been learning, you know. But we've got a little small fruit tree that's grafted with 2 different types, and it is absolutely packed with apples. I'll show you. So this is the little tree, and it is a little tree, it's in a pot down there. Yeah, but somebody told me that you see, you get a cluster of apples on a bit like that, that if you choose the biggest one out of that cluster and leave it and take the rest off, you'll get big apples. So that's what I'm going to do later on. And yeah, I was just looking at that one, look, it's joined together with that one. How do you work that one out? But anyway, that's the idea. So let's do this one for an example. So I'd say probably that one was the biggest. So if I take that one off, and that little one there, that just leaves me with one apple, and that's the biggest. And that, apparently that's what you're supposed to do. So I've got to do the whole tree. I've got a bucket down there to put them in, but here's another one. So, oh, I'd say that one was the biggest. So get rid of them. Seems a shame, doesn't it? But it's such a big tree, it won't hold all them. And there's another little bunch here, look. There's in a couple on there. But if I take that smallest one off, that'll do it. Same again here, look. Another bunch. Well, there's only 2 on there. So I'll take one of them off. And that just leaves 1. So yeah, that's a good tip if you've got fruit trees. I'll do the rest of that later on, but yeah, if you've got because otherwise it would be absolutely teeming with apples. Let's take these 2 off. And the tree wouldn't be able to cope with it, it'd be too heavy. There's another bit there, look. Let's leave that top one on, I think. Take these little ones off, yeah. So there's me learning a little bit about the trees. These are some onions. I haven't harvested them yet. I'm leaving them because they're not quite turned over and gone yet. But the other ones I was talking about, they started to seed, so I've pulled them up. I'll just show you them now. I pulled those up yesterday. I mean, they're not huge. They're sort of like a smallish onion, but a mixture of red and normal. So I'll be drying them out and then chopping them all and put them in the freezer. In this bed is a mixture of green and red kale, and that's come up really nice, that has now, look. And we use that a lot. So I thought I'd grow a mixture this year, green and the purple. These foxgloves, I love them. Look how tall they've got. They're taller than me. These were all different colours, but all from the same pack, you know. Excellent mix, I think. But yeah, they're so beautiful. Like I say, is that a slug in there? Like I say, I'm 5'8", and that's way above me. The potatoes are doing really well. I think I can just see some little flowers coming on them, maybe in there. Just starting. But they say to leave a couple of weeks after you see the flowers, and behind them is the garlic, the elephant garlic, which is ready now for harvesting. So what I'll do soon is move some of these potato sacks out of the way. I want to harvest them, and then in this bed I'll take the weed suppressant off, and I've hung on to some leeks, so I'm going to sow that whole big bed with leeks. The sweet corn's growing really well, really fantastic. Look at that. And that's doing great. In this little bed is this bookcase. I put a few kale that were left over. Can never have enough of that. The hens eat it and we eat a lot of it. And at the end there is I planted some hollyhock, and it's got a really deep black flower. So they've only just gone in them ones. In this bed, they're looking a bit sorry for themselves at the moment, but their pickup is Brussels sprouts. I just burnt some holes in it yesterday with the weed burner and planted them in. I need to give them another good water, and their pickup in there. So yeah, that's them in. I had some people that were interested in the carrots, you know, the tape carrots. So I'll show you, because yesterday I've got 3 beds of carrots and I thinned out all of them actually, and I noticed the ones that I'd sown myself were growing quicker, but I don't know if that's much of a help, but I'll show you the carrot beds and see what you think. So these are the carrots that I sown myself. These are a rainbow mix, and they're just starting to come up in the bed. Quite sturdy and nice plants actually. Look. I did 4 rows in there, and I sat on the edge of this bed yesterday and picked them out and thinned them out. Now this is the bed of the tape carrots. You probably can't see them as well because there's a lot of white stones on there, but probably vaguely. But if you see what I mean, the ones that I sowed are a little bit healthier than them. Not healthier, but stronger and quicker. I suppose they've got to fight their way through that tape, eh? And finally, this is the last bed, and you probably can't see much at all, but oh yeah, you can, probably a line there, look. So the ones with the tape are not showing as quickly as the ones that I'd sown. And mine look a lot greener and bushier. I planted them all at the same time. So yeah. There's the 3 beds there. Now this is the stuff that's overtaken the place. Now look at it. So I've got to get to grips with that. I'm going to chop it and add it to the compost bins, because that'll give some good nitrogen in there, and then I'll be able to see my garden a bit better. But I want to actually, I was going to dig it out like last year, but it's too much for them beds, so I'm going to take it out of there. I've got an empty bed here still that I've got to fill up. And there's one there with a pile of wood on that I've got to put away. And I've got cabbages to put in there and some cauliflower to go in there. So we're doing all right. So this is me, look, still with stuff to put out. A lot of it's plants, but some of it's cabbage, cauliflower. All these plants down the edge here, I want to put down here. I'll show you. You know, I showed you I made this bit round here. Well, if you lift that back, there's some weed suppressant that behind that. I want to make a cross in it, pull it back, and plant some of those little. They look like miniature fuchsias, but they're not. But put those in there. These are St. John's wort that I grew. Hope you have to be careful with those and touching them and stuff. But wow, look at them. So I've got them to put out. These are giant hollyhock. Well, I'm going to plant them sort of amongst the woods down the bottom there. I think it'd be nice with a bit of colour. And the leeks are at the back there. I planted the French beans in some of these tubs, and they seem to be doing all right. It's just the weather that's not, you know, it doesn't help. But I mean, we've got some flowers on there, so hopefully we'll get some beans. We've often talked about it here, you know, we've got 1.2 acres, and there become a time one day when I can't manage it. And we said what we'd do is probably not use the raised beds anymore and just use the polytunnels, and that would be enough. But there are alternatives, and a lot of you probably heard of the Veggie Pod. Well, Helen picked one up the other week, and we set it up quite near the kitchen, so it's handy, and it's full of vegetables, salad stuff, and you couldn't get it any handier really. Plus we've got the herbs just along the wall over here, I'll show you. And we set up a little compost bin by the door. So yeah, let's go and have a look. So this is the Veggie Pod from where I'm sitting, and the back door's there, look, the kitchen door, and the herbs are up in that little bit there. Plus we've got one there actually, that's the bay leaf tree, and I want to put that into that big bed there at some point. But yeah, let's go and open it and have a look. There we are. I mean, to be fair, it's absolutely fabulous for this sort of salad stuff. I mean, look at that, how fresh do you get? I think they're cos lettuces, them. I can't remember, Helen knows, but they're all ready to eat. And I'm not really, I must admit, I'm not really a salad person, but when I ate them, they were so crispy and lovely. You couldn't not enjoy it really. And these beetroot leaves, we take off, and I add them to the smoothies in the morning. And yeah, it's all so fresh. Helen's got a couple of herbs at the back here. oregano. They're both oregano. I don't know what the back one is there. Not sure. But yeah, it's amazing what you can grow, isn't it, in one of these. I think she started off some little hat joys in here. And transplanted some chives from a big clump that we had round the back. She's done another little bit there. And she's got some little seeds growing there. Some parsley at the back. And some parsley at the front. So yeah, it's on like a latch and it's got string at the side so you can push it back, but we don't because it ain't that stable. Sometimes it tips right back. And there's a line of hose at the top there that you water it with. And it kind of just pushes down on that clip. A few clips actually. Another one there. Yeah. So what you do is you connect it to this, a hose pipe, turn it on, and it waters it. So it's a great alternative if you can't manage a big garden. These are a couple of more herb beds there. Thyme, 2 different types of thyme. More parsley. I think Helen's going to freeze them into little ice cubes and use them for the cooking. This is the little compost bin that we got. We've got several compost bins around the back, but this is quite handy, being quite near the kitchen as well. It's not really massive, but yeah, you just pull that back and drop your bits in there. There's no actual handle to spin it, but yeah, really quite handy that. We've got a couple of them, so when that one's full, I'll just take it round the back, put the empty one there and bring that one back, and then we kind of got a swappy going on, you know. This is some lemon balm, which we got. We thought we'd try a bit of lemon tea. It likes it quite in the shade, this one, so Helen chopped it down and it started to grow back up again. Of course, every year the weather plays a big part, doesn't it, in how our vegetables and that grow, and it's been a bit grim so far this year here. Very cloudy, patchy rain, not many days of sunshine, but you never know, we might get a really good July and August, hopefully, and things will pick up. But you can't do anything about the weather, can you, with your crop and stuff like that? But I still love having a go and, you know, being out amongst it all. So, yeah. So don't worry, if you can't manage a big garden, there's always, you know, alternatives. I mean, if you can't get hold of one of those veggie pods, you can sort of have a go at yourself at making one on legs and putting your own net on the top. It would work really well, I think. But it does give it a different sort of climate in there, and they really enjoy that. Helen's just going to see if she can get some chive seeds out of this. Yeah, look, there's a few there. That was from the clump that I showed you just now. Wow. What you can do is spread them in there.
No, we'll get too many plants in there. These ones look older, so might get more. Oh, that one's no good. We've got quite a lot of chives, but it's, if you want to separate them, probably could do with doing a little bit drier.
Yeah.
But these little black bits are.
Yeah, they're the seeds, aren't they? Lovely.
See if I can just get some out without getting... You get a lot of
Yeah.
But I think when they're really dry in summer, the seeds fall out much easier.
Yeah. And there you are.
So if you want to have your own
chive seeds,
chives, you can. just let the flowers die, and those are tiny little ones are just seeds. But I think these plants are quite immature, childish.
Yeah.
Anyway, and when you get those lovely big heads, that's probably going to be better. But
Yeah.
or you can just keep as you are, and as they grow, divide them is the normal way. So
Yeah, well done. It's so nice though to grow your own veggies, isn't it? I hope all your plots and gardens are doing really well, whatever you're doing. And it's always nice when it comes to harvest time, isn't it? Like now with the onions, but I've got to let them dry out, I know. But hopefully we get some sunshine today. Not today, over the weekend, I mean. And that'll give the onions a little bit of a dry out, and I'll probably have to hang them in the polytunnel to dry out. And then we use them all over the winter. Oh, you can hear the goat in the background, she can hear me. Yeah, and the other thing I was doing, it's not garden related, but I joined a little fishing club today, so I'm thinking of maybe doing a separate channel for the fishing. It probably don't seem right to just add like little trips to fishing into a gardening channel. Maybe people wouldn't watch it, I don't know. But I'm trying to think of a name for a ladies fishing channel. So if you've got any ideas, pop them in the comments. Anyway, you take care everyone, and look after yourselves, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now. Bye.